Welcome to 60s and Restless. I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. I've been thinking about people in their 60s and 70s, were in their youth in the 60s and 70s. And those were very different times. I'm recalling that guys were pretty much fearless. They'd go off in a car that was held together by a rubber band and know that if it broke down, they could figure something out. Women and girls were either thinking about careers or building a home and having children, and whatever it was going to be creative. We were creating, we were planning and executing, and it seemed like, anything was possible. And so here we're the people of the 60s and 70s, and we're in our 60s and 70s, and we're in the midst of a fear-laden, fractured world right now that if you didn't know what we should know about what's possible, it would be such a total downer. And there is definitely a heavy spirit out there that is trying to press people down. People in their 60s and 70s wearing double masks, walking on the other side of a path outdoors, wearing masks in their cars. I understand caution. Caution's always important. Should be balanced by risk-taking, of course, which is harder for some of us than others. But the idea of being so fearful that you have now pulled away from life, and it's not caution, it's fear. It's fear. And what does the Bible say? Perfect love casts out all fear. So anyway, in thinking about being 60s and 70s and what things were like back then, and how people in their 60s and 70s should be leading, not being the big fear factors, I was thinking of that old song from the musical Hair called The Age of Aquarius. And he say we are now in the age of Aquarius, and this transition is what is making everything so crazy. But there's a lot to look forward to in the age of Aquarius. And I wanted to read what one article described as the ideals of the age of Aquarius, and it made me think, yes, of the 60s and 70s. It says, the ideals of Aquarius are associated with democracy, freedom, creativity, nonconformity, humanitarianism, idealism, philanthropy, empathy, respect for people, respect for human rights, and yes, even rebellion. So let's go back to what we once were. Let's remember what it was like to be in the 60s and 70s. And let's lead the way for the next generations.